Watch Dr. Drew's new show at 9 on HLN. Weeknights on HLN.
I'm just hoping wherever she's at, that she's being fed well, she's getting some love, she's getting a chance to watch her videos or stuff that she likes to do. I just hope this person or persons that has her I wish they would just realize, oh my God, I got to get her back to her family. I wish that could happen. Then again, I don't know a lot of specifics, and I'm just trying to do everything I can to find her. I'm trying.
I know you are, Dad.
Remember, both of them know well that they're being taped, but does that look like a man who knows his granddaughter is dead? A man who helped cover up an accidental pool drowning? Criminal defense attorney Michael Cardoza and law enforcement analyst Mike Brooks are back with me. We also have prosecutor Stacey Honowitz, who also joins us. Stacey, do you think the jury seeing videos of these sorts of exchanges help the prosecution?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, listen, when Jose got up there and he threw out those defenses, like Michael said, a defense attorney getting up there, not just attacking the state case, but actually having a theory of his defense, this blows it out of the water completely. You saw the exchange. It doesn't matter if they knew they were being taped. The fact of the matter is, they heard George on the stand. They saw his raw, true emotion. They would have to think he's the biggest monster in the world, that he conspired with his own daughter to get rid of the body of his grandchild. As a police detective who didn't try to get her 911 help or resuscitation, I mean, really, it's not the best defense in the world. So I think the jury will be smart enough to realize that whatever she's alleging, abuse-wise, conspiracy-wise, is not the case.
All right. The jury also saw a video of this jailhouse visit. Now, once again, Casey worrying about herself and not her missing daughter.
This is the first time I've truly been angry this entire time. But I'm so beyond frustrated with all of this that I can't even swallow right now. It hurts.
Mike Brooks, a grieving mother whose child is missing. Does she usually act like that?
You know, I've always said, what is the real Casey Anthony? Have we seen the real Casey Anthony? Will we ever really see the real Casey Anthony? Because the lies, she keeps crying, but we know it's all an act, Dr. Drew. It's just amazing to me on this August 14th tape that we see with George and Cindy here and all that anger. I think it's, as I said, I think it's the reality starting to set in. But I thought it was interesting today, too, because George, you saw George during this visit as kind of Detective George Anthony, too, offering out there a guy they talked to by the name of Scott who could help her. And he said, and you know, you can talk to him without having Jose Baez there. I thought that was very interesting.
You know, that guy Scott, I think, is his workers' comp attorney or something, isn't it? There's some crazy... Is that who that is?
It's Scott Boland, special agent, FBI, special agent Scott Boland. And, you know, after this visit, it was interesting because one of the other things George said on this August 14th visit, do they give you any pen or paper? Maybe you can write a note to the sheriff, Sheriff Barry. And apparently, after they left, she got some paper and she got something to write with, and she wrote Sheriff Barry a note, Dr. Drew, and the lead detective, Dr. Yuri Malich, he got that, opened it up, and it says, is there any way that I can have a meeting set up with my father, George Anthony? I would in every way appreciate it. I know it's an unusual request, but it's important nonetheless. So, later that night, George Anthony, along with Yuri Malich, Special Agent Scott Boland, and Sergeant Allen, one of the other investigators, they show up at the jail for a visit with Casey. Well, Jose Baez was out of town in New York, and the substitute attorneys had met with her just prior to this. He said, you're not meeting with her. They wound up waiting an hour and a half. Meeting called off. But that was very interesting because it all had to do with this visit and a little bit of detective work by George Anthony.
Mike, what do you make of all that?
Well, I disagree with Mike a little bit. When he says that it's Casey's act, no, it's not an act. That's who Casey Anthony is.
A lying, obfuscating, dissembling person.
Absolutely.
That's who she is.
Well, she is,
well,
and
yes,
that's why you have to embrace all of that and use that as part of your defense. Not she's not guilty, but get that degree down, because no jury is going to walk away from these tapes. No jury's not going to believe it. There she is, in her own words, doing this. But the experts have to point out, That's her sickness talking.
Right. Now, that's, again, we're trying to save her from the death penalty.
Exactly.
Now, okay, Michael, and now this is something I want you to address for my audience, is how you for sure you dealt with criminals and lying and
a lot of them.
Yeah, how do you deal with that as a defense attorney?
You know, it is really difficult, especially someone like Casey Anthony, because she is a liar, sociopathic, narcissistic.
Okay, so can we all agree on that, everybody?
I think we all can.
My guest, Stacey,
Yes.
Mike, everybody agree with that?
Yeah, absolutely.
Stacey, you agree with that?
Yeah, I agree with it, but I can guarantee you that Jose got a team of doctors together. I mean, this doesn't come out of the blue. You just don't get up in a high-profile murder case that the country is watching and throw these things out. I'm certain that at some point Jose had her evaluated for something. The bottom line is that doesn't take away from the fact of whether she killed this child, and that's what the state is going to show you.